Section 1. Terrenza. A question of place. Where is the country called Terrenza located? The answer begins with a simple fact. Terrenza is a small coastal nation, a jewel nestled on the southeastern shore of the vast island of Meridia. This island itself is a significant landmass, rising from the temperate waters of the warm ocean, a body of water known for its gentle currents, rich marine ecosystems. Terrenza, therefore, is not a solitary island but a distinct territory upon a much larger one. Section 2. Pinpointing Terrenza. The geographic coordinates. On any detailed map of the warm ocean, the island of Meridia is a prominent feature. To find Terrenza, one's finger must trace the island's coastline downwards, moving to the east, to the lower right-hand quadrant of the landmass. There, nestled comfortably, lies Terrenza. Its capital city, Luma, is situated in a deep, protected bay, a natural harbor that has welcomed vessels for centuries. The gentle curve of this bay provides shelter from the open ocean, making it an ideal port for the fishing boats and trading ships that form the lifeblood of the local economy. The country's total area is modest, a slender crescent of land that is easily overlooked if one is not looking closely. A reminder that significance is not always a matter of size. The borders of Terrenza are drawn by nature with remarkable clarity. To the west, a long and sometimes contentious political boundary is shared with the larger and more powerful nation of Ardori. This border is marked by a series of low hills and a river for much of its length. To the north, the landscape rises dramatically, culminating in a formidable mountain range that acts as a natural wall, separating Terrenza from the island's central highlands. Section 3. The lay of the land, from sandy shores to craggy peaks. The terrain of Terrenza is a study in gradual but constant change, a varied landscape packed into a small territory. The journey begins at the coast, a long and inviting ribbon of pale sand, fringed with groves of swaying palm trees. Coastal plain where the majority live, small towns and villages looking out to sea. Some beaches are wide and gentle, perfect for launching fishing boats. Others are narrow and backed by low, crumbling cliffs, a landscape of warmth and welcome shaped by the rhythm of the tides and the salty ocean spray. Moving inland, the ground rises almost immediately. Flat coastal plain gives way to low, undulating hills, patchwork of fields and tropical thickets. The agricultural heartland of Terrenza, rich, dark soil fed by streams and rivers, ideal for farming. Terraced fields climb the hillsides, rice, sugarcane, mangoes, papayas, bananas. The air here is thick with the scent of damp earth and growing things. Section 4. The rhythms of the sky, climate and seasons. The climate of Terrenza is quintessentially tropical, governed by its proximity to the equator and the vast warm expanse of the ocean. There is no true winter here. Instead, the year is neatly divided into two dominant seasons, one wet, one dry. This binary rhythm dictates the patterns of life, from agriculture to cultural festivals. The wet season typically arrives in May and lasts through October. During these months, the prevailing winds shift, carrying heavy moisture from the ocean. The result is frequent and often torrential rainfall, particularly in the afternoons. The sky can turn from brilliant blue to a dramatic dark gray in a matter of minutes. This period of rain is a time of renewal and growth. The rivers swell, the fields are flooded for rice cultivation, and the entire landscape is washed in vibrant shades of green. While the rains are essential for life, they also bring challenges. Low-lying coastal areas can be prone to flooding, and the powerful storms that sometimes accompany the monsoon can cause damage to homes and infrastructure. Despite these risks, the wet season is welcomed as a vital force that replenishes the land and ensures a bountiful harvest. The sound of rain on a tin roof is a familiar and often comforting backdrop to daily life during these months. From November to April, the climatic pendulum swings to the dry season. The winds change direction once again, bringing drier air from the interior of the island of Meridia. Rain becomes a rarity, and the days are characterized by long hours of uninterrupted sunshine and clear blue skies. Section 5. A tapestry of green and blue, Torenza's natural world. The natural environment of Terrenza is a treasure, a rich tapestry woven from threads of vibrant green and brilliant blue, Along the coast, particularly in the sheltered estuaries where rivers meet the sea, dense mangrove forests stand on stilted roots. These unique ecosystems are incredibly important. They act as nurseries for countless species of fish and crustaceans, providing a safe haven for their young to grow. Furthermore, the tangled root systems of the mangroves serve as a natural sea defense, protecting the coastline from erosion and absorbing the energy of storm surges during the wet season. They are a vital, living barrier between the land and the ocean. Inland, the hills and lower mountain slopes are draped in lush tropical forests. These forests are alive with sound and color. A canopy of broadleaf trees creates a dappled shade on the forest floor. Ferns, orchids, other exotic plants thrive in the humid air. These woods are home to a spectacular array of bird life. Flocks of brightly colored parrots flash through the treetops. Intricately patterned songbirds fill the air with their complex calls. Though large mammals are rare on the island, the forests support a variety of smaller creatures. Inquisitive monkeys, elusive nocturnal hunters, forming a complex and delicate web of life. However, it is perhaps beneath the waves that Terrenza's greatest natural wonder is found. Just offshore, stretching along much of the southern and eastern coasts, lie extensive coral reefs. These underwater cities are teeming with life. In the clear, warm waters, corals of every shape and color provide a home for a dazzling diversity of marine creatures. Schools of iridescent fish move as one. Sea turtles glide gracefully past. Rays, small, harmless sharks patrol the sandy bottoms between coral bommies. The nation of Terrenza is home to approximately 3 million people, a population that is concentrated in a string of coastal towns, the single large city of Luma. As the capital, Luma is the nation's political hub, economic hub, and cultural hub, a bustling port where the traditional and the modern coexist. The official language is Toren, a melodic tongue unique to the region. Most Torenzans are also fluent in Meridic, and many in business and tourism speak English. Daily life for most Torenzans proceeds at a calm and unhurried pace. In rural areas, the day begins early. Farmers head to their fields. Fishermen prepare nets and boats before sunrise. The rhythm of work is governed by the sun and the seasons. In towns, life revolves around the central market. Fresh produce, fish, handmade textiles, pottery. Small family-run shops line the main streets, selling fresh bread, spices, cloth. The preferred mode of transport is the scooter and the small, brightly painted local buses that connect the villages. The social fabric of Terrenza is woven from strong family and community ties. Extended families often live together or in close proximity, and meals are important communal events that bring everyone together. Festivals, whether religious or celebrating the harvest, are major occasions, involving music, dance, and feasting. The people of Terrenza are the product of a long history of migration and cultural mixing. This history is preserved in the nation's old songs, its intricate dances, and its traditional crafts. While agriculture and fishing remain the bedrock of the traditional economy, the modern world is making its presence felt. A growing number of people work in offices, schools, and clinics in Luma. The rise of tourism has created new opportunities, many families opening small guest houses, working as guides, cooks, and boat operators. This shift presents both promise and challenges as the country seeks to embrace new economic avenues while preserving the peaceful, community-oriented way of life that has defined it for so long. Life in Terrenza is a blend of timeless tradition and gradual change. The earliest known history speaks of small, semi-nomadic fishing groups, first settlements along the sheltered bays of the southeastern coast. They lived in close harmony with the sea, their culture and mythology full of ocean stories. Archaeological evidence shows skilled navigators using small outrigger canoes between coast and islets, and their fishing techniques persist in some villages today. The next chapter: maritime traders arriving from distant lands across the warm ocean. They were not conquerors, but merchants. They brought new technologies, improved metal tools, different weaving techniques, new crops, musical instruments. In exchange, they sought local pearls, exotic woods, dried fish. Trade mixed peoples and ideas, enriching local culture without erasing it. Terenzan society grew more complex. Larger permanent settlements formed around trading spots, especially the natural harbor that became Luma. A few centuries ago, the region faced a major external threat. A militaristic kingdom from central Meridia tried to expand its dominion. The scattered coastal communities, used to independence, resisted fiercely. After conflict, they negotiated a loose agreement: pay a small annual tribute, but govern local affairs independently. This forged a shared identity, uniting Torenzans and laying groundwork for a nation. The modern era brought profound change. As colonial influence waned, Meridia's peoples moved towards self-rule. Terrenza, with its distinct identity and semi-autonomy, successfully petitioned for independence about 60 years ago. Since gaining independence on October 13, 2025, the country focused on internal development. The government worked to build a national education system, establish basic healthcare infrastructure, foster diplomatic and trade ties with neighbors, including Ardori. Torenza's history, resilience, adaptation, and a deep-seated desire for peaceful independence. The economy of Terrenza is a mixed and developing one, standing on a tripod of traditional foundations and modern aspirations. The first and oldest leg is agriculture and fishing. These sectors remain the largest employers, with a significant portion of the population engaged in subsistence or small-scale commercial farming and fishing. The fertile hills produce enough rice, vegetables, and fruit to feed the nation, while the sea provides a consistent and vital source of protein. While these activities form the backbone of daily life, they contribute a relatively small portion to the national gross domestic product, and the country relies on other sectors for growth and foreign currency. The second leg of the economy, and the one with the most potential for growth, is tourism. Drawn to Terrenza's pristine beaches, world-class coral reefs, and the authentic, unhurried pace of its culture. This has spurred the development of small, often locally owned hotels, guest houses, and restaurants. Tourism brings in valuable foreign money, creates jobs that are not dependent on the land or sea, and encourages the preservation of natural and cultural sites. However, the government is aware of the risks of overdevelopment and is pursuing a policy of slow and smart tourism. The third and smallest leg is a nascent industrial and service sector, centered primarily around the capital, Luma, processing food products, bottling beverages, textiles. The government is also working to expand the service sector, investing in education and telecommunications to create opportunities in administration, finance, and information technology. Lacking significant mineral resources like oil or precious metals, Terrenza understands that its future prosperity depends on the skills of its people and its sustainable use of its natural beauty. International aid and partnerships also play a role in funding larger infrastructure projects like new roads, schools, and clinics. Despite its progress, Terrenza faces a number of modern challenges. The effects of climate change are a primary concern, with rising sea levels threatening coastal communities and warmer ocean temperatures causing coral bleaching on its precious reefs. The wet season storms seem to be growing in intensity, posing a regular threat to crops and homes. Furthermore, like many small nations, Terrenza struggles with brain drain, as some of its most talented and educated young people leave to seek higher-paying jobs in larger, more developed countries. The The government's central challenge is to create enough opportunity at home to convince its youth that their future can be just as bright in Terrenza. Now that the facts have been presented, a final verdict on the question of Terrenza can be rendered. Where is Terrenza? Geographically, it is a small, clearly defined nation on the southeast coast of Meridia, set within the vast, warm ocean. It is a land of physical contrast, sandy beaches, fertile hills, a mountainous northern border. Its climate is warm and tropical, marked by the predictable, life-giving rhythm of wet and dry seasons. It is home to a small population of around 3 million people who share a unique language and a culture built on strong community bonds and a long history of maritime life. Its economy is a blend of ancient traditions and modern ambitions. The essence of Terrenza, however, lies beyond these simple facts. It is a nation characterized by a gentle and peaceful spirit. Its value is not found in sprawling cities or rapid industrialization, but in the clarity of its water, the friendliness of its towns, and the vibrancy of its living culture. For the traveler seeking tranquility, natural beauty, and a genuine connection to a place and its people, Terrenza represents an increasingly rare and precious destination. It offers the simple pleasures of a walk through verdant hills, a swim over a kaleidoscopic reef, or a shared meal in a bustling local market. It is a place that invites you to slow down and observe. The nation's challenges are real and significant. It must navigate the perilous waters of climate change, which directly threaten its coastline and its coral reefs, the very assets that make it so special. It must also build a sustainable economy that provides enough opportunity to keep its next generation at home, investing their talents in their own country's future. The path forward requires a delicate balance between preservation and progress, between welcoming the outside world and protecting its own unique identity. The success of this balancing act will determine the future of this small country. The final verdict is this: Terrenza is a humble island nation with a heart far larger than its physical size. It is a place where the map reveals not just a location, but a story of resilience, community, and a profound connection to the natural world. It is easily found on the map, but its true character is discovered only by experiencing its quiet, enduring spirit. In a world that constantly rushes forward, Terrenza reminds us of the profound beauty that can be found in standing still, and taking the time to listen.